They think it will be hard to keep up with the lessons. Or maybe they are worried of being wrong and being ridiculous. Some people may also be embarrassed to study English because the environment is uplifting, which makes them feel less confident. I'm Celia Camille. I'm from State High Senior Rights Party, and this time I'm going to talk about the challenge and joy of learning English as a foreign language. English is a language spoken in several countries. The language of education, internet, finance, tourism, diplomacy, popular music, and so on. It's the second language of a certain country. However, in Indonesia, English is primarily considered a foreign language rather than a second language. That's why learning English is not as easy as we thought. There are many challenges to face, such as pronunciation, accent, and grammar. For example, in English, the way we write a word is often different from how we say it, which is one of the difficulties we deal with as Indonesian, right? Mainly since we have a distinct accent from people who speak English. And then, our dissimilar language structure and complex grammar also make it difficult for us to understand the sentences quickly. On the other hand, the challenge nowadays is the lack of awareness of the importance of English among the local community. Most people who are aware of the importance of English are people who live in big and developed cities like Surabaya and Jakarta. In contrast to my city, Kediri, they don't know about the consequences and benefits if we have English skills, even though we have provided a place where we can use English freely and comfortably. But many local people are insensitive to English because they think English is unnecessary. A little share from my experience when I studied at one of the courses in Lomba English. At the time, I took speaking class. At first time I entered, I was a little nervous because I was told to have a conversation with strangers there. Scared and struggling to think of what to say, especially if I have a conversation with people who are fluent in British accents. It makes me have to be extra careful in understanding their words. I once took permission to go to the toilet because I didn't know what my partner was talking about at the time. Moreover, I'm not good enough at mastering grammar. But actually, gathering knowledge in English is enjoyable, especially in Cabo English, because we can meet many people from various regions. Cabo English is a comfortable place to use English, since the people who study there are really supportive. They understand that we have the same problem in acquiring English. They have big dreams and goals. They want to judge your English. Anyway, another way to practice my English is by listening to Western music or watching their movies. In my opinion, this is the most amusing way self-taught to learn English. And usually, I mark how the word is pronounced and apply it in front of the mirror while practicing my accent and my confidence in English. English is like new glasses for us because we can see the world more broadly by interacting and exchanging ideas with people out there. And also, English makes us easier to find a job, and it creates our value. Well, in summary, learning English is highly entertaining. It takes courage to study it and to speak it. But gaining fluency in English needs to be practiced every day. If you don't have time to study English, you can learn by yourself by listening to music or watching movies, or you can also talk to yourself in front of the mirror. Well, we will not be as fluent as many people in speaking English, absolutely, but if we are willing to grasp English and improve our skills, we will become proficient in English. So, let's embrace both the challenge and the joy.